2024 will be insane for heavy metal. Even more, if everything goes as planned, it might be the best year for the genre in a long time, with dozens of worthy albums hitting the shelves throughout the year. Right at the year's start, we'll be blessed with the mighty Saxon's 24th studio album. Yes, 24th. Hellfire and Damnation is set to be out on January 19th, just a little over a month after Saxon unexpectedly dropped the first single from the record, which also happens to be the album's title track. And here I have a little confession to make. I actually already received the album from the label, and while the review is of course coming soon, for now I'll just say that it definitely will be a great start of 2024. One of the most exciting things about Saxon's modern lineup is that in addition to Biff and the team, we now get to see the legendary Brian Tatler rocking with the band up on the stage. And while I of course have an enormous respect for Paul Quinn, but the truth is that I actually consider Brian to be one of the most influential guitarists in heavy metal overall, and seeing him rock the stage with Biff, and even more so provide his input for the band's new material, is truly one of the most exciting things which happened to those old school new wave of British heavy metal bands in a long time. And by the way, if everything goes well, in just a couple of weeks, Beef Byford is actually going to join me once again on the show for an interview, so definitely don't miss that chat. And since only around 30% of the people who are watching my videos are actually subscribed to the Metal Pilgrim channel, here I just quickly wanted to say that if you still haven't done so yet, and especially if this is not your first video you're watching on this channel, I would really appreciate it if you would consider doing it right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together.
We're gonna have a good time. Always.
And since mid-January, there are at least 30 more albums already announced and confirmed for the rest of winter, including the ones from Mago de Oz, Static X, Infected Rain, Morbid Saint, The Obsessed, Ace Frehley, Mick Mars, and the one which I'm actually quite excited to hear, Amaranthe's 7th studio record, The Catalyst, which will be the first with their newcomer vocalist Mikael Salin on February 23rd. But if we're being very honest, by that time, I, just like most of the channel's viewers, most likely will just be biting my nails in anticipation for what is to come in March. Yes, by the 1st of March, we'll finally be blessed with Bruce Dickinson's 7th solo album, and we'll finally get to know everything there is to know about the Mandrake Project. Mere 18 years after the release of his latest studio output, Tyranny of Souls, Bruce Dickinson finally treated the fans of his solo work with the new track Afterglow of Ragnarok in 2023. The first single of his new solo record coming out next year.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yet the first new music from Bruce since 2005 is of course not the only thing which makes this release an extra special one for all Iron Maiden fans. Just like with Afterglow of Ragnarok, the other 11 tracks of the record will also be unfolding a special story written by Bruce in the forms of the comic book and accompanying videos. And just remembering how much fun we had decoding some of the clues Bruce hid for us before the release of Afterglow of Ragnarok, the thing I am most excited about is finding and discussing with you all those little hints and secrets Bruce Dickinson prepared for us, which I'm sure there will be just plenty of before the album's release date. But just a week after that will happen what I consider to be the biggest heavy metal event of 2024. The release of Judas Priest's 19th studio record, Invincible Shield. After announcing the record right from the stage of the Power Trip Festival in October, Judas Priest released the first 2 songs from the record, both of which, although done in the same vein of this 21st century style Judas Priest, represent rather different sides of the record's sound. And here's the deal, and I know that I might be saying this because everyone knows I am a Judas Priest fan, but the truth is that I absolutely loved both of those singles. and even more. The more time passes and the more I get to listen to them, the more I actually enjoy them. And just a couple of weeks ago, we also got to hear the short snippet of the next single Judas Priest is going to release. And the truth is that I kind of already know which song it will be and when it tentatively will be out. And yes, I have this feeling that for those of us who liked the first two singles, the third one will simply blow our minds. But this is even not it. In addition to the many albums which were already announced, meaning we have the actual release date for those, there are also roughly a gazillion records which we'll know for sure will come out in 2024, yet we simply don't have enough details about them yet. Thrash metal legends Anthrax promised that their new studio output will be ready by next year, and I truly hope it will, since I remember speaking about it with Frank Ballo several years ago when he first joined me on my show, and we all hoped to hear it within the next couple of months or so. Cradle of Filth are planning to not only record a collab with Ed Sheeran, but also treat their fans to a proper new metal record, just as the founders of the Gothenburg school of melodic death metal Dark Tranquillity, which will be especially interesting to hear since it will be the first new record since the formation of the Halo Effect. Speaking of which, those guys are also planning to release their sophomore album in 2024, and in all honesty, it might be in my top 5 most anticipated records of the year, given their first release was simply mind-blowing. And of course, to a huge surprise of many fans around the world, just a couple of years after releasing his Patient No. 9, Ozzy Osbourne is planning to not only drop a new record, but hopes to also hit the stage promoting it. What? And by the way, here I just wanted to say, Ozzy, you are a legend, and we love you no matter what. So at this point in your career, I believe that you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Yet we'll do hope to see the Prince of Darkness up on stage at least one more time. And talking about the old school guys, Slayer's Kerry King will be surprising us with his new solo project alongside Sebastian Bach, who just dropped the first new track in 10 years, and which, in all honesty, was a huge and a very pleasant surprise to me, leaving me wondering when his new album will be out. The legendary Paul Di'Anno will be releasing his debut record with the new band Warhorse, while Helloween, Hammerfall, Nightwish, Korn and Powerwolf all promised that they prepared something special for us as well. And in addition to all that, Blackie Lawless mentioned that the new WASP album might be out next year as well, which, let's all agree, is long overdue already. And the legendary band Savatage will also release their final ever record, Curtain Call. So yes, the truth is that even if 20% of those albums will see the light of day next year, 2024 already promises to be absolutely huge for heavy metal.
Boom, pow.
But most importantly, I truly hope that I and thousands of Ukrainian metalheads will be able to enjoy those records in full. So here guys, I just wanted to once again thank you all for this amazing support you're showing to me, the show in Ukraine, through this very, very difficult time. And please do not forget that the biggest war since World War II is going on right now in the middle of Europe. And please continue supporting us in our fight for freedom. But anyways, what do you personally expect from 2024? And which are the records which you are most excited about? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you metal pilgrims around the world, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!